Well, welcome back. And, hi. And I realized that I haven't actually made a painting in a while. I've been painting on a bunch of things, but I haven't actually made a painting on a canvas, which I have. Obviously, if you're getting where I'm going with it, so I'm going to be painting something today. Yeah, that's about the only intro things that I have to say, so let's get started. Firstly, I just got out a canvas and a palette and a pencil so that I could roughly sketch out what I wanted, and I didn't really draw much, just a circle and like a line at the bottom. But I started off by making a sun, just like in the middle top of the canvas, kind of night, like the big moon, because I just incorporated a bunch of yellow in it. And then after I finished the sun, I started painting the sky around it, and I realized that I didn't really like using the paintbrush that I'm using right there to paint around it because it was small enough and it just wasn't working, so I got a bigger paintbrush to just paint with, and that worked out a lot better. All of the things I'm making here, I use just a ton of the same color. So for the sky, I use a bunch of blue, just kind of put them in streaks everywhere and then brush them out to make it all blend together and look cool, in my opinion. While I was painting the canvas, I also made sure to go and paint the edges of the canvas so it's just like white on the sides. And I did that with all the colors that I use. So the blue goes on most of the sides, but then whenever I start adding other colors at the bottom, that color went on to the sides of the canvas too. Finished up with I decided to start painting my hills at the bottom. And I just did that in a bunch of different shades of green, and I made 2 little hills, and only recorded it's in 4 seconds video, so it kind of cut out the end of the hill making there. But that's just how it turns out sometimes. Then I came back after all of it dried, and I decided to paint a tree. Going into this painting, I actually had no clue what I was making, and I just decided to start. And for the tree, this wasn't meant to be a very pretty tree because I'm just making the base of it, and then I'm going to go in and add a bunch of different leaves. This was actually the first tree I ever painted that had leaves on it, too. Usually I just paint like the base and it just is during winter or something and just doesn't have any leaves on it. But yeah, I made this one have leaves because I wanted there to be a bunch of shade under it, and I made the shade by just going in with a darker green and kind of circling the tree because I'm not that good at shading anything. And I decided to add a pathway along the hills so that people could like walk or run on it. And I made one in the back hill trying to signify that like that hill's farther behind the first hill, and it's a long path that kind of goes up and over the hills. And I made sure to shade the sidewalk that was under the part of the tree as well. And then lastly, I added a little runner, which this took me forever to do. Just make the little runner there because I wanted to try and make it look correct. It turned out fine, but this was a great time. Lastly, I just added my signature, and then the painting was complete. Well, I'm back again at the end of the video. If you've made it here, good for you. I hoped you liked it. I do my best sometimes, and I also don't do my best sometimes whenever I try and rush everything and push it together and put it out there as soon as possible. But yeah, that's my life sometimes. I think I just said sometimes like 5 different times in that last sentence. That's alright. Anyway, the only really news that I have for upcoming events or whatever is that I'm switching to just posting every Tuesday because school. Ugh. Yeah, anyway, that's about it. Have a great rest of your day.